Hey everyone, I'm Todd Stevens.
And I'm Ross Miriam.
And you're watching the Verse Series by StarCityGames.com. This weekend, we're going to have the 25th Anniversary Pro Tour, which is going to be a team constructed format. We haven't seen team constructed on the Pro Tour in a long time.
Yeah, not
Ever?
since 2006.
Okay. They did it back then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that was before my time. But we are quite familiar with Team Constructed over here on the SCG Tour. We've been playing quite a lot of those recently. And so what we want to do this week is play a Team Constructed match between the two of us. And Ross and I will be kind of just playing the decks that we think are the best decks to be playing at the Pro Tour, what we would recommend people to play.
Yeah, so we're going to have Standard today, we're going to have Modern later in the week, followed by Legacy. At the end of the week, we're going to play 5 games in each set. And as Todd said, like, these are the decks that we think are really good. Mm-hmm. And I don't play a lot of Standard these days.
Right.
But I've heard that this Goblin Chain Whirler card is pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard that it's above average.
It wins a lot. So yeah. I'm just playing the red-black deck. I know there have been some recent rumblings that the deck isn't as good as it used to be, but people say that a lot about decks that are really, really good. Like Delver and Fairies, there always comes a point where like, this deck's going to get worse. Like these other decks are good against it, and they're usually wrong.
Yeah. The
best decks are really good for a reason, and the reasons that red-black is good haven't really changed. It's a deck that reaches the same power level as 3-color mid-range decks, but because it's one color with a splash, it has a much more consistent mana base. So you get a higher combination of power and consistency, and like maybe the green decks are a problem, but there's removal spells that deal with big green creatures. Yeah. Like there are enough options, I think, in just red and red-black that you just need to tune the deck a little bit better for what we're seeing now. We've got Mono Green and Grixis Midrange, which are a little bit different than decks we saw 3 months ago when red-black was first dominating. So just tune your deck a little bit better.
Yeah, and people think of like a best deck and think, oh man, that deck just has to always win. It's a best deck. It should just be winning every single match. And oh no, it loses some matches. Maybe it's not the best deck anymore. But like that's just how Magic is. Like no matter what the best deck is, it's not going to be winning all the time. Even if it's only winning 55% of the time or whatever, it could still just be the best option.
Yeah. And yet you've chosen a different deck that doesn't have any copies of Goblin Chain Whirler in it.
Yes, I have chosen a deck with copies of Nicol Bolas the Ravager instead.
That costs so much more mana.
Only one, but it does require, it's a little more difficult on the mana base. So yeah, I'm going to be playing the Grixis Midrange deck that I've been playing recently because I have been playing a lot of Standard. I've played this deck in 2 classics now, the same 75, and I got 5th and 11th. So not so bad. Yeah, finished 6 and 2 actually in both of them in like matches played. So a nice 75% win rate. So I'll take that. But I like the options that you have in Grixis are incredibly vast. Like there are so many good cards you could be playing in this kind of deck. So I'm not sure if my exact 75 is really exactly where you want to be, but I do believe that if you have a very well-tuned Grixis deck, that you can have a lot of success.
Yeah, it was the most popular deck on day 2 of the most recent Team Constructed Open in Philadelphia. So the deck seemed to do well. I'm not sure how many copies were in top 8, but I think at least one. So definitely one of the top decks in the format, along with green and red-black. And so we're just sort of playing 2 Titans against each other. We'll see who comes out on top.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to the die roll and see who goes first between mono red, red-black?
Red-black.
Yeah, red-black aggro and Grixis Midrange. Here for the die roll, and Ross and I are going to do something fun. Since it's the 25th anniversary, we're going to go ahead and roll 8 die, and the closest to the number 25 gets to choose to be on the play or the draw.
Let's do it.
All right. 8 die at the same time.
Yeah. We've chosen 8 because that puts 25 near the center of the probability distribution. I guess 26 is the exact center.
Okay,
my
you go first.
My roll is way too high. 18, 20, 29, 35.
Okay. I have...
Your roll is great.
Yeah, my roll is great.
9, 11,
There's
20,
10.
30.
There's 10, so that's 20, 30.
Yeah.
All right.
Got me by 5. Move this pile of dice out of the way.
This pile of dice.
You know, when I first started playing Magic, I remember the 10th anniversary. And there wasn't nearly this rigmarole. Instead, they changed how the cards looked, and everyone thought Magic was going to die.
They didn't have any kind of showcase for the 10th anniversary?
I don't remember any big event.
All right. Well, anyway, my hand here is definitely going to be a keep. Searchers Canta is not as good in this matchup as others, but I actually still don't mind it too much. A lot of people like taking it out against the red decks and everything, but I still just like having it as it's just a 2-mana investment. It can really give you a lot of card selection. When you have a card that's so important like Vraska's Contempt in this matchup, it helps find it a lot for just a 2-mana investment.
My hand is not great here on the draw, but I think it is a keep. We have enough to like not fall too far behind, and then some good threats if we can hit some lands here. So might be weak in this. It's probably weak in this matchup actually.
It's okay.
I'm regretting this the more I'm looking at it.
Seems like every single time I play Standard against you, I just play Canyon Slough first land.
It's the best card in the format.
It is. Well, Slough down there a little bit. I don't know if it's the best.
Okay, another good draw. So, man, maybe I figured out Todd's secret. Keep bad hands and just draw perfectly.
Yeah, that's always good. All right, search for his Canta trigger. I would love a Vraska's Contempt, but we really need lands.
No one needs lands. If you have too many lands, then you're flooded, and that's bad.
No one likes floods. Because we are going to want to continue to hit land drop. So we could greedily keep this and then hope one of the next 2 cards is a land, so we'll have our 4th land. I think that's worth it. We'll probably find a land of one of the next 2 cards.
Yeah, now he's 100% to find a land.
Yeah, definitely 100%. So we'll keep it.
It's classic greedy Todd.
Pass the turn.
Okay, I continue drawing very well. Attack for 3.
A Braid.
Which mode?
I would like to deal 3 damage to target creature.
Okay, well, I'll brute strength it. I made some
Just
changes.
get me.
I'll play a mountain and pass.
All right, let's see if we find that land. Oh, hey, look, it's a land. Well, I'm going to keep it. 100% had a land. Had it the whole time. That's all I have. Yep, can't do any more damage around this popsicle stand. Go ahead.
Ooh, another good draw. I'll get myself a Jacob Ball with an energy and play another Scrap Heap Scrounger. Pass the turn.
All right, I want to use my mana here, and I don't really want to use my Contempt yet. So I'm going to actually just commit that while it's on the stack. And just put it second from the top.
Yep, that's fine.
All right, untap. Search Rose Canta. We don't need this Liliana. We just want lands, so Liliana gone. Ooh, that would have been good to have before. All right, go ahead.
Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Yeah, didn't you already play that one?
I have many Scrap Heap Scroungers.
I guess so. Okay, well, this one's fine.
Pass the turn.
All right, well, I drew a Magma Spray.
I'm actually going to kill my Scrounger in response
Nice.
so that I can get it back.
Nice.
I don't think a Braid has a lot of targets in this matchup.
Yep, now he's not going to be able to kill my Torrential Gear Hulk, so that's going to be cool. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and just keep this other card, even though it's still not a land. So I'll just keep it because it's just so important. So go ahead.
Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Yeah, you already tried that one.
Pass.
All right, I'll go ahead and Contempt it.
Okay. That one I will let happen. I have too many Scroungers to have enough fuel for all of them.
All right,
And you're at 22?
22. Searchers Canta is going to go ahead and take this Fatal Push and push it to the graveyard. Can we find another land? Oh, yeah. And because of the Canyon Slough, it comes into play untapped. And we get a Scarab God.
Okay.
Go ahead.
On your end step, I'll exile Scrounger to get this one back.
Yeah.
And that leaves no creatures in any graveyards, which is nice. I'll get a second energy and fly over with a Glorybringer.
Oh, dang.
You go to 18. Pass turn.
Search for Canta. Wow. I was definitely going to be... So I want to mill this card because I want Search to flip so I can have 6 mana. But Cast Down is such a clean answer to Glorybringer. Even though if we keep the Cast Down, we won't be able to do anything else for the turn, not even activate Scarab God or anything. I think it's still worth it, though. Cast Down it's just a perfect answer to Glorybringer. So I'll just go ahead and keep this. Now we have to decide if we want to attack or not. I think so. I think we're fine with this race. So attack for 5.
15. My pen is...
And I'll pass the turn.
There we go. That's what I think of you, pen. So you have 3 cards in hand?
I have 3 cards, and you don't know any of them.
I kind of know one of them. Can't keep your big mouth shut. That is a pretty cool one. It's attack for 7.
So this cast down has a quote from Chainer's Torment. Who's Chainer? Chainer's Torment.
Who's Chainer?
Yeah.
Is this real?
No?
Am I being trolled? Is Ashton Kutcher here? Who's Chainer?
And who is Chainer's Torment?
Do you know the set Torment?
Oh, I do know the set Torment.
Yeah, he was a central character in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a long time ago, though.
Okay. I'm going to try to hold Todd back a little here, and let's play a Chandra.
Okay.
This is a risky line against a counter spell, but I don't think there are a lot in that deck. And Disintegration, the Scarab God.
Yeah, I do not have counter
After making some red, you go to 12.
Yep.
Scarab God will go to the go to Todd's hand at
Yeah.
the beginning of the next end step, right?
Right. So actually, what you should do, so then, you can't make mana and do that. You can't cast it end step. You can't cast Disintegration end
exactly.
step. So yeah, no, it'll go back to my hand. All right. Search is going to flip this turn now, no matter what. So, all right. So that's going to be 6 mana. If I keep this Fetid Pools, that's 7 mana. We're not close to being able to have 9 for Scarab God, and activation. So I'll go ahead and put Fetid Pools in the yard. Transform. Draw. And I just want Chandra off the table, so I'm going to go ahead and use a mana and Gear Hulk Contempt.
Brings you to 14.
14. Your turn.
Gear Hulk was very good there.
Yeah, the card's just always very good. It's very constructive to winning.
How do I want to play this now? Now the Scarab God is pretty scary because
The scary
can bring
god.
back the Gear Hulk. So I have to be very wary of it. Not sure how much I can do. You're at 14 right now.
This place has outlived its usefulness. Nicopolis.
So if I go with this one,
Wow. Wow. Yeah, Ross definitely in a tough spot here.
I have to try to get as aggressive as I can. And if Todd just has Scarab God next turn as his play, with not really much else, I'm probably going to have to use this. Yeah, this is tough. I could...
So what you got over there?
Let's just use my mana and get aggressive.
Okay.
No exert, just attack for 4.
Okay.
You go to 10.
Down to 10.
And I will play Cannon Slew and pass.
Okay, I was hoping to hit another land drop here to be able to double spell. But we're not going to be able to. So we can play exactly one of our cards. I don't think I want to use this. I don't think I want to play the Scarab God, because Glorybringer is still just going to be flying over. So let's go ahead and play my favorite card from Core Set 2019, Nicol Bolas, because Nicol Bolas will be able to trade with this Glorybringer and get the last card out of Ross's hand, which is probably pretty important.
Shouldn't play the Cannon Slew.
And go ahead. I am going to just still leave Gearhulk back on defense here because we're going to win the long game. So,
and maximally punished. Now I'm very dead. Okay, I'm going to attack with both and exert on the Torrential Gearhulk.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead. I actually don't mind my Gearhulk dying with having Scarab God and everything. I just don't want to take damage. I'm going to go ahead and just block.
And I will play this land and pass the turn.
Yeah, even though that's not much of a trade for me, it still just life total is more important than cards here. So I have too many resources. Go ahead.
10?
Yep.
Okay, return.
You want to do that with trigger on the stack?
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting both, but you have a bunch of stuff to target that's great anyway.
Yeah, Gearhulk.
Whereas, like, if I draw like Lightning Strike and you block and get to deal with this for a turn, then I can get it back. I think I'm just going to do it once. Because I don't actually think the Glorybringer makes a difference if you get to untap and start activating Scarab God.
Okay.
Bomat Courier.
Yeah.
Attack, get a card.
All right, I'm going to, so Ross definitely wants this card. So he's, the blocking the Courier just doesn't really do a whole lot. Again, I want to save my life total. I'm going to block the Scrounger. Because I think he's going to be popping it post-combat anyway.
What am I hoping to hit here? I guess Disintegration. I think if I let you untap, I just die. So, yeah, let's see what this card is. It is not good. Soul Scar Mage.
No. Yep, and I contempt Doomfall still.
Yeah. Did you just still had all these me on a versus video?
I did. Still had all these. Which is a good grocery store. All these.
Okay, here we are for game 2. I am on the play. I've taken a mulligan to 6, but I have a pretty nice start here. I just need to find a couple more lands, and we've got a Scry to help us do that.
Nice. I'm also on a mulligan to 6. My first hand was just a 1-lander. Now, my mana base is awkward here with all tap lands. And even though this mountain could kind of help it, we still have just a bunch of lands right now, so I don't really want this mountain. So we're just going to be on a slow start here, but Ross is also on 6, so I think that's okay.
I do want my land, so I'll keep that on top and start on a Montagna.
Dragon Skull Summit. Go ahead.
Kari Zev.
Oh no. That is a very nice card for us to have here with our hand. Go ahead.
Declare attacks.
Yeah.
Get a Ragavan.
Alright, so I'm taking 3 going down to 17.
Yep. Why don't you go down to 16 as I make a Jacob Ball and a Chain Whirler.
Oh gosh. This is just getting worse.
You can go. I'm going to keep Ragavan right over here.
Oh, I guess I maybe should have played the Summit last turn. Yeah. Go ahead. This looks very bad for us.
Attack, get Ragavan.
So that's
brings you to
6
brings
total.
You to 10.
Yep, down to 10.
Awkward. Tap land is awkward, but I'll pass the turn. I'm ahead anyway, so.
Oh, wish we had that card a long time ago.
Nice mana base.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Draw. Declare attacks.
All right. I guess Chain Whirler is a better attacker overall than Carry Zev, and he could be sitting with another Carry Zev in hand. So we'll just go ahead and
attack for 3.
Down to 7.
And think this is going to be a better play than this one. Just because it applies more pressure. Yeah, I'll play a Punalar.
Okay.
Good against removal spells too. Okay, spray the Pia.
Not my removal spells. All right, Nikki B.
I have a disintegration to kill you.
Dang. So I had like 2 magma sprays, and you had carry Zev, and then I couldn't ever get wasn't able
double
to
red.
Yeah, double red until it was like way too late.
Get wrecked.
And we're here for sideboarding, and I don't have a whole lot to do. I'm going to be just kind of trimming on just a few things. So we do have a lot of more expensive removal in our deck already, and I think we have enough to be able to answer the hard threats from Red-Black without this commit memory. We're going to have Doomfalls, Vraska's Contempts, Hour of Devastation to answer Hazaret. So with bringing in these Hour of Devastations, I think commit memory is going to be our first cut. Besides that, Nicol Bolas doesn't line up the best here. It's not something I really want to play early because a lot of the threats like Hazaret, Rekindling Phoenix can kind of just ignore Nicol Bolas. But it is a good card late, of course, and so I still want some in my deck, but I'm just going to trim one of them. Same with Champion of Wits. I'm not going to get rid of all of my Champion of Wits, even though it's very weak to Goblin Chain Whirler, and it doesn't really block very much. But I think the filtering aspect that it provides and just the late game power provides whenever it's get it back with the Scarab God or just use its ability is pretty important to my game plan. So I'm just only taking one out. I used to take all of them out, but then I would kind of find that I'd just get stuck with too many removal spells or not be able to hit land drops and stuff like that, or just have all lands. And so I like the filtering that provides. And we saw that last game Magma Spray not be too good for us, but it is amazing against Scrap Heap Scrounger. Just going to trim one, though, since we have these other removal spells to kind of help clear up the small creatures, because I don't want to get stuck with too many Magma Sprays in my hand. So Hour Devastation gets rid of Hazaret, Sweltering Suns. Just kind of nice answer for Pia Nalar and the other 2 and 3 mana creatures. And Spyglass can deal with Heart of Kiran and Chandra, and also Scrap Heap Scrounger to keep it from coming back.
On my side, I'm bringing out some of my weaker removal spells. Lightning Strike doesn't really kill anything in Todd's deck other than Champion of Wits, which I handle pretty easily. A Braid really only kills Torrential Gearhulk, so I'm replacing these removal spells and just bring in better interactive cards in Duress that can clear away an Hour of Devastation or a key Vraska's Contempt. One of the real keys in this matchup is overloading the opponent's contempts. You have a lot of threats that demand them, which is why I'm bringing in the Phoenixes to have more threats that demand a contempt. And Duress helps you just trade for the contempts at a very low rate and then set up those big threats. I am replacing the removal spells by bringing in another Disintegration, which helps a lot against Torrential Gearhulk and also answers Nicol Bolas if that comes down. Doomfall being able to play both roles is nice. We're playing a longer game, so Soulscar Mage isn't necessary. And then I struggled with the last 2 cards to bring out, but ultimately I think Glorybringer is the weakest of them because it is a 5-mana threat that does not demand a Vraska's Contempt. It can get cast down pretty easily, and even though Todd's list only has 1, like you never really know with these Grixis decks how much black removal they're playing. So I'm not super sold on Glorybringer. It also trades with Nicol Bolas and can't exert to kill it because Nicol Bolas is a dragon, and Glorybringer doesn't kill its own kind. How nice of it.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned about Glorybringer against Nicol Bolas as well. You don't get a lot of value out of the Exert in this matchup because Grixis Midrange just doesn't have a lot of creatures, and the creatures it does has can't be targeted with it. Either Nicol Bolas is a dragon, or Scarab God is too big, Torrential Gearhulk is too big. So it's really just 5 mana for Flying Haste, which is fine, but I think is our weakest threat, so I'm cutting it here.
Back for game 2, and we're going to be on the play over here. We have a nice curve starting at 2, working our way up if we can hit our land drops. So we're going to hopefully hit our land drops, and we don't have a ton of interaction for Ross, though, but hopefully we don't die.
On my side, this hand's going to need some help, but it has a lot of potential if it hits, so I'm going to keep it on the draw here, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Well, it's not a Canyon Slough.
Oof.
Yeah.
This is a Bomat Courier, though.
Nice.
One, yeah.
All right, taking it.
You're 19.
Okay. All right, even though it wasn't a land, it's still just gonna it's gonna be able to kill something. So good draw.
Attack.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this and go to 18, because then if he leads with the carry Zev, I get to use my removal. All right, did not, so I'll just upgrade. So it only cost me 1 point to have the option. Oh no. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at Ross's hand.
Well, that's not good.
Let's see what this awesome keep is out. Ooh, Duress, Disintegration, Phoenix. So we're definitely just taking Phoenix, because we can't beat that card. And the rest of the cards don't do anything, so that's good.
PNLR.
Okay.
Good draw.
Yeah.
You can go.
All right, let's go land. Ooh, so close. So it's likely that Ross is going to be pumping the Thopter next turn, so I'm going to go ahead and braid on my main phase here, so he doesn't get to pump the Thopter.
Wise choice. Bomat Courier.
Okay.
Attack, get a card, take 2.
Down to 16.
Pass.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and just deploy the threat. Hope Ross does not draw black mana.
Definitely discarding a Duress, so this Disintegration can be live.
Yep.
And now there's the question of whether I attack with this Courier and try to just trade these 2 uncastables for other things. And I think I do. Do I attack with the Thopter as well? Because unless Todd has a removal spell, it's likely that he's going to block the Courier and force the sack. Maybe not, but that would give me another turn to try to draw a black source for Disintegration. And the Thopter isn't super valuable. Yeah, attack with both.
Good call. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and block the Courier because I do not want that to stay around and him get a 3rd card from it.
Let's sacrifice before damage. And you can take 1.
Down to 15.
And as I expected, my black source went under a Courier.
Yep.
You can go.
Hitting land drops would be really nice, but I think holding up this card is probably more valuable. So, now, are we going to attack with Nicol Bolas or not? I guess so.
Okay,
Attack for 4.
16.
16. Go ahead.
Wow, that was not good. Attack for 1.
14.
Pass the turn.
Glimmer of Genius. I'll scry 2. These are 2 lands, so I think I'm just going to keep them. We definitely want the first land. We may not need this. I guess we probably don't need the second. So we'll just take that, draw our 2. Yep, that's just like I thought we'd get lands anyway. And I get some Boss now. Attack for 4.
12.
And we're going to go ahead and keep playing our threats. Ross doesn't seem like he has very much going on over there.
It seems like it's a turn late. How can I win this game? I can attack for 5 this turn. That'll get Todd to 9. And then the best I could possibly do the next turn is guess I could draw Pia, sack, make this, because this will die. Todd will probably just bring it back. But you can't make more than 1 flying blocker between Nicol Bolas and Pia. I can draw another Pia, crew this heart, sack the token, make this unable to block. That gets in for another 5, plus a pump is 6, and that's still going to be 3 short. I guess I can force an attack on the Chandra. Yeah, let's plus to exile, because I don't think killing the Nicol Bolas really does anything.
Okay.
It does force some mana out of you, but it doesn't get to a winning line.
Yeah.
You can take 2.
All right, down to 12. 12 all.
And then I will attack for 5.
Do you want to leave the Thopter back to block, or do you want to hit in with
I
that?
don't think so.
Okay. All right, so I'm down to 7.
I guess if I get you to 8,
You guys
now
have
I
much
have
difference there?
I just have like 2 blockers here, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's better.
Yeah.
Let's get 8. See if that makes me... Because if I get to keep Chandra around for turn, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go.
All right. Scarab God trigger. I'm not going to use it.
No, I definitely don't get to keep Chandra around, though, because you can just get back Beaumont Courier. So
Oh, that's true.
there's zero chance of me keeping the Chandra.
Okay.
If you want me to. So yeah, get you 7.
Okay.
You can go.
Yeah, maybe I should just use it on Beaumont Courier then. If my plan is just to get rid of this Chandra anyway. Okay, I'm going to go to combat.
Yep.
I'll attack you with the Scarab God and Chandra with Nicol Bolas.
And you're currently at 7.
Yep.
Okay, I'll crew.
All right, and then before blocks, I'll go ahead and contempt the Hardy Cairn. So I go up to 9.
I go to 7.
Yep, you go down to 7. Go ahead. So this way, let me get Chandra off the battlefield and Hardy Cairn off the battlefield. Yeah, which I was more worried about than other cards.
Okay, back here for game number 4. I'm on the play. I have both my colors, and I have some spells to play early and something big to follow them up with, so I like my hand a lot.
Nice. Mine's kind of slow. We're waiting until turn 4 before we really start doing stuff. But
I will play Canaan Slew.
I'd like this hand on the play more, but I don't think it's a mulligan.
Okay, with Todd playing a fatal or a blue-black land, not a black land that isn't a red land, I'm going to assume it's way more likely that it's Fatal Push than Magma Spray here, and play Lead on Scrap Heap. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Attack for 3.
I'll go ahead and abrade.
Okay. Much happier having him abrade that than this Karizev, and I will pass the turn.
Go ahead.
Declare attacks.
Yeah. 17.
There's my Ragavan. So now I have a bit of a predicament. And it's about whether or not I want to play into Contempt.
I don't got no Vraska's Contempt. I don't know what you're talking about.
If I jam my threat, then if I know anything about Todd, it's that he's literally 100% to draw Vraska's Contempt in every game. So
You want Vraska's Contempt?
I'll take the Glimmer of Genius,
Okay.
and I'll pass the turn.
Yeah. So I went with the Field Ruin here on turn 3 since I didn't have anything else to do. And just go ahead and blow this up. We'll get a second red source in. It could be that I end up wanting to use that Field Ruin with Fatal Push later, but I think just fixing the mana in case we draw like Hour Devastation or Sweltering Suns or anything like that. And I didn't mind abrading the Scrounger earlier because my plan was to exile all the other creatures for the rest of the game, basically. So didn't mind if that abrade earlier. Okay, draw. Go ahead.
Okay, looks like we got ourselves a nice old top deck war,
Yep.
and that was a good draw.
Going into combat, I'm just going
Yeah.
to keep using these contempts every turn. So,
So you go to Zigzag. You go to 19.
Yep, 19.
Okay, well, rather than run my better threat into a Contempt, I'll play the 2 for 1.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right, now this is going to mean... All right, how many cards do you have?
2.
2. I don't think playing Contempt here is going to be the best with this PNLR. Let's actually just play this Liliana, even though it's very possible that Liliana just dies. Let's just kind of tick it up, fill our graveyard a little bit, Spyglass and Canyon Slough, and make a zombie. Go ahead. Spyglass would not have been too bad here with just naming PNLR to keep the Thopter from getting pumped.
Well, I can kill this Liliana, so I guess I shouldn't be doing that. So I'll play Hazoret. I'll sack this Thopter to make Sandblack unable to block, and I'll mush the Liliana for 7.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I'm pretty happy with that line from Ross. I actually would not have really liked if he just spent all his mana and just pumped up the Thopter 4 times.
That would not have killed the...
No, it wouldn't have killed the Liliana, but now I have just like a nice easy answer to Hazoret, and then can hopefully go from there. Let's mush on in for 2.
18.
18, and we'll go ahead and Contempt Hazoret right now before you get to untap.
You go to 21.
And that'll be it for me.
Okay, attack for 2.
Spray.
And I think I'm just going to jam into the Contempt so that I just feel comfortable hitting my other threats.
Yeah.
Phoenix, like, sitting in my hand as a sitting duck against a Nicol Bolas, which would be devastating, so I'll just play. I think it's going to it's worse again if I draw Duress, but I have way more, like, threats in my deck than Duresses.
All right, well, let's go ahead and Contempt, Abrade.
You go to 23.
Yep, I'm at 23. You go down to 16. So now we're not in the best spot because Ross does have Scrounger still, but we have a lot of good top decks.
Cycle Canyon Slough.
So hopefully find a Torrential Gearhulk.
That was a pretty good draw. Bomat Courier.
Ooh,
attack.
that is a good one.
Get a card. You go to 22.
Yep.
I don't think there's any reason to sorcery speed this Scrounger, and if you draw Sweltering Suns, I'd much rather instant speed it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and cycle. Sure.
Where did
Cycle.
that Spyglass come from?
Liliana.
Okay. That makes sense.
Go ahead.
And step. Go to my turn.
Yep. So that's why cycle lands are awesome.
Hazoret.
That one's pretty good.
Yep. Declare attacks.
Yeah.
Get a card.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and block Bomat because I don't want it to get another card next turn.
Yep. Let's get some cards.
So I'm going to be taking 8.
Brings you to 14.
Down to 14.
And why don't I see what's going on over there? Sure.
That's the best card I could have.
Yep. I should have known.
Especially against Duress. All right, so I'm not going to let him untap and activate Hazoret. Especially like this Gearhulk's not going to be surprising anybody. So let's go ahead and Contempt.
16 all.
16. Go ahead. Well, I guess I'll let... Yeah, actually, I'm hitting you in there. 14.
I'm at 14.
Yeah, good.
Cycle Canyon Slough.
Yeah. The attack is pretty aggressive against like a Disintegration from Ross's side. That would have been pretty backbreaking.
Heart of Kieran.
Okay.
Bomat Courier.
Okay.
And do I want to catch this in for a card now? The question is, how aggressive is Todd about to get? I have the zombie token contained with heart, unless you have another removal spell. Seems because the zombie is not attacking at all over this turn, the courier is not going to get more than a card. So the only thing I sort of play around is a Doomfall, I guess. and I think the mana is probably more important than playing around Doomfall, so I will attack and get a card.
Okay. And I will block.
Yep. Pass the turn.
Go to combat.
So you did draw a removal spell.
Attack. Crew. And I'll go and braid that.
I go to 7.
Yep, take 7, go to 7, and I got a Search for Azcanta. That should help me find something good next turn.
I don't think you need any help.
That's true.
Bomat Courier. Yeah, definitely just want to cycle this rather than chump block with it.
Right.
Attack you to 12.
Yep, down to 12.
And let's see if I can find a Disintegration. Nope, I find an irrelevant Heart of Kirin. Okay, we're here for game 5. I'm once again on the play, and I have a nice aggressive hand here, although this ETB tap land is awkward, but definitely a keep.
Mine is actually a little better than what it looks. My hand looks horrendous, but it's actually not that bad. Now, we do need to draw a blue source for this Champion of Wits, but once we draw a blue source for the Champion of Wits, we can ditch some of these other cards and hopefully hit land drops. Going to want to keep these other removal spells too, so going to keep and hopefully we draw a blue source.
Okay, Canyon Slough, pass.
Didn't quite get there. Canyon Slough, pass.
Let's lead on our most aggressive card, Heart of Kirin.
Oh. Go ahead. Not getting there yet, but we got another draw.
Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Yeah.
Crew, attack.
Push the heart.
Play another Slough.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Never didn't have it. All right, so now we get to Champion. Draw 2. Definitely discarding the Scarab God. We just don't need that card. And I do want to keep this one, though. Now, what do we want to do after that? I would usually kind of discard this, but it's going to work out really well with Scrounger. I guess, even though we're going to want another land, but I think this is still just the worst card in our hand. Our hand's kind of loaded now, so let's go and get rid of that land.
Okay, that was a very good draw. Now I get to both clear away that Champion, bring you to 19, and play this Courier that I couldn't play on turn 1. Attack you for 4, bring you to 15.
Yeah, good. That's very nice.
Pass the turn.
Very nice turn. Very nice turn. Ooh. Oh boy, I feel really dumb for discarding that land. That could definitely cost me. I should have got rid of this card. 2 in hand. We're just going to be passing the turn and kind of seeing what happens on Ross's turn.
Okay, declare tax. What you got? Which one's getting contempted?
None of them. Go ahead. Come on in.
Moosh, get another card.
Yep, so it takes 7 down to 8.
Yeah, and I will play a Heart of Kirin.
Okay.
Pass the turn. There's no reason to commit any more into a sweeper here. Heart of Kirin will survive any sweeper.
Yeah.
And this leaves up Return of Scrounger.
All right, we'll contempt Scrounger and stuff.
Yep, you go to 10.
So I was definitely very scared of like Rekindling Phoenix second main, which is why I didn't contempt Scrounger beforehand. Because, all right, so we did draw our land very luckily, so we're going to go ahead and now our Devastation. So I wanted to kind of, like if there's a Rekindling Phoenix, I need to be able to contempt it before this. But
so now I have a bit of an interesting decision here. My hand is pretty good, but I gained card advantage by activating Courier because of this Scrounger in my hand. And I'm discarding a creature along with it, so I guarantee get to at least return this, even if these are bricks. And it would be really nice if I could land like something big this turn and really put Todd under the gun. So I think I'm going to go with the discard. Because discard Scrounger is just value. Chain Whirler is like not super great here. I've already dealt with a champion. So, yeah.
okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Not great draws here, but we do have another threat that can let us keep this Scrounger in the graveyard against another sweeper. So I'll get a Thopter, I will crew the heart, and I unleash for 4.
Down to
bring to
6.
6. Pass the turn.
Pass turn.
Okay. On the end step, I'll return this Scrounger.
Okay. Still end step. We got to, before he can sack the Scrounger to PNLR, we're going to have to go ahead and spray this right now.
Go to my turn.
Yep, your turn.
And that's a good one. Play a Chandra.
Okay.
I will plus to exile.
Yep.
You can take 2, go to 4. Crew the heart.
Yep.
And attack for 7. So now I've taught as a contempt, he has to use it on a creature to survive.
Hmm.
And you actually have to use it on, I guess you have to, on heart or PO will work.
Yeah, heart will let me go to 1.
Yes.
Because you'll just be able to sack the heart.
Yeah, I can, that's true.
Yeah. So I'm at 4 right now. I think I'm kind of dead. Let's abrade the heart.
Go to 1.
Yep, down to 1.
Pass the turn. So now you need to have an answer to Chandra plus. You need to have like spray contempt.
Yeah, I need to draw a spray or a push. Yep, but that's gonna just kill me.
Push wouldn't work because it wouldn't kill Pia. Oh no, I guess you just
just push the Thopter and yeah, but I don't have one, so yep, I'm dead. I'm at 3 and you have 3 on the board.
Yeah.
And, yep.
This is my still had all these.
Nice.
It wasn't as good as yours.
So those were some really good close games for the most part. You know, like you could tell like when I turned the corner and like my wins and stuff. But for the most part, you know, it's 3-2 and it was, you know, kind of a struggle to see if I would turn the corner or not. And
yeah, you won both games you were on the play. I won 2 out of the 3 I was on the play. The person on the play won 4 out of 5. The game I lost on the play, we essentially got to a top deck war, and you drew a Gear Hulk that was like perfect.
Yeah.
I drew pretty well, like Hazaret, and then boom, at Courier found Duress, and I was feeling great.
Yeah.
And then I duressed you. I was like, yeah, I'll take his removal spell here, and then that'll cement it. And he showed me Gear Hulk, and I was like, well, that's just the perfect card.
Yep.
So I like a lot of what's going on in the Grixis deck. I think the removal suite between the red spells and the black spells gives you what you need to answer the different threats in the red deck. You have the early removal spells, a lot of 1-mana stuff. You have Cast Down and Abrade for some of the bigger stuff. You have Contempt for the really hard to answer stuff. And like Doomfall can do a couple different things. Commit can do some different stuff. So enough options there. I think what got you into trouble in the games that you lost was your mana base. You had a lot of ETB tap lands in the game you're on the draw, didn't interact early enough. So the lesson here, I think, is in a lot of matchups, the red-black deck really becomes a mid-range deck, but I think the Grixis deck is a little bit more powerful going along to where you're significantly favored. So as the Grixis deck, you really just need to prioritize, especially on the draw, making sure you answer the early stuff and get to the long game.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe if you mulligan that hand, you end up in a spot where I'm able to land an unanswered Hazaret, or an unanswered Chandra, like some big threat. And that's a problem if you just don't draw Contempt or need to use one early. But that's going to happen in some percentage of the games. But you really do need to prioritize dealing with the early threats, making sure you get to that point where you're playing land 5, playing land 6, and getting to the Torrential Gear Hulk, activate Scarab God stage of the game.
Yeah. The game 5, I like how it played out. I could tell a couple of the lines I took just were not the correct lines. I think that game was very winnable. The Hour of Devastation, like I kind of drew the 5th land. I was like, oh, I'll do this to kind of kill some stuff. And if I just contempt your Scrounger before, and just like before combat, I could save some damage there. That would have been pretty useful. And instead of just Hour of Devastation, I think I had Contempt Spray. I think I should just Contempt Spray that turn, like Contempt the Heart of Kieran, spray something else, like spray the Bowmat. So
answering the heart is definitely valuable.
Yeah.
Though I did have a second copy. So
yes, you did have the second copy of Heart of Kieran. The Heart of Kieran was pretty good that game, like with like my sweeper plan and everything, and just PNLR. PNLR was pretty impressive in multiple games there.
PNLR for as little play as Pia and Kieran Nalaar saw in Standard, while it's seeing play in Modern, Pia Nalaar has seen a ton of play. And obviously context is different. Like there are just a lot of decks where Pia Nalaar fit because of Kaladesh being so artifact heavy, so it makes sense. And it shows you just how powerful of a card Pia and Kieran was, even though it just didn't have, and how powerful or important context is. Like a more powerful card in a context where it was less supported, doesn't see any play. Granted, it would probably be worse now because Red has so many other good 4-drops that it would be competing with. But Pia just slots so well. Like, good against spot removal, sort of forces the sweeper. It's good early. It has just enough power to crew, Heart of Kieran. It and late game, like, you just do cool stuff with it. With it and Scrounger, you can make a whole board unable to block and get like a Falter. You can just sink mana pumping into a Thopter or Heart of Kieran or Scrounger and deal a ton of extra damage. So just a lot of versatility on that card. And a card that is unassuming. The stats are fine, but it just has so many abilities. And when you play with it, you just see so many different ways in which it's effective. And cards like that are cards I really like. So, but yeah, Pia has been consistently one of my favorite cards in these red decks for as long as they've existed. And yeah, it definitely was impressive there.
Yeah. Over on the Grixis side, you see in my sideboard, I have a lot of sweepers. I have 3 Sweltering Suns and 2 Hour of Devastation. So that's a ton of sweepers from the Grixis sides. But I think it's really important to be able to defeat Vinemare these days.
Yeah.
Vinemare is definitely a big card in the format. A lot of the green decks are even just going with Vinemare's main deck. And so be able to have lots of answers for Vinemare. Right now, I'm kind of relying on the sweepers, but then Commit Memory is not really an answer, like when it's on the stack, like that doesn't work very often. But then I also have Torrential Gearhulks that can block, or champions can kind of chump in for a turn while I try to race with other creatures. But overall, with this build that I have not been struggling against the green decks and the Vinemares too much. In the classics I've been playing, I've been beating up on the green decks quite a bit. So I really do like all the sweepers.
Yeah, I agree. I think the sweepers are really important in the green matchup. They're somewhat effective here. Hour is definitely good. You only brought in 1 Sweltering Suns because the red deck does go a little bigger. Maybe you want a second. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe the second over the Spyglass. I was kind of debating.
Yeah, that's a minor point, but they're really, really good against the green decks, I think. Historically, they've been awkward because they don't kill Steelleaf Champion, but now that they've added Vinemare and, was it Thorn Lieutenant?
Yeah, Thorn Lieutenant, yeah.
So having a sweeper that either deals with 1/1s that have been left behind when you fatal push it early, or just cleanly answers it and doesn't leave behind the 1/1 is really nice. So the 2 main additions to the green deck and the 2 cards that have elevated the green deck into tier 1 status are cleanly handled by Sweltering Suns. So I think that's a card that people really should be looking to.
Yep. The other card that I think Grixis decks, I don't know if should be playing, but another card that's really well positioned right now is Essence Scatter. Just being able to counter the Vinemares, counter all those creatures. Like the red decks have plenty of creatures. These Grixis Mirrors, like countering Torrential Gearhulk, Scarab God,
How many
Nicol
scatters
Bolas.
you got over here?
I have 0.
But you should be playing this card that there is 0 of in my deck.
Yeah, no, Essence Scatter is definitely very well positioned. How I have the deck kind of built, though, is I'm just kind of tapping out, answering stuff all the time. And whenever I am playing my own threats, I don't really want to be able to have to hold up mana and everything. I don't know. I think there probably should be some Essence Scatters in this deck. And like I said, there's tons of different options for Grixis.
I agree with you. I like Essence Scatter a lot.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that you recommend a card that wasn't in your deck.
Yeah.
I was curious. We just played 5 games. I didn't see an Essence Scatter.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, how many of those do you have?
Do you have 1 or something?
No, so but that's what I'm saying is that that's another card that I don't actually have in my deck that I probably should, and that is well positioned. I don't know. I kind of like just all the cards in my deck though, so it's hard to find stuff to take out.
You just have too many sweet cards when you play 3 colors.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. Just
can't decide.
Yeah.
Back when I started playing Magic, what you would do is if you couldn't decide what to cut, you would just put like 68 cards in your deck.
Yeah, you just keep on adding some lands.
They're all great. No, don't add any extra lands. You had enough lands.
Okay.
But we need to add more sweet spells to our deck. So we got about 21 lands or so in our 68 card decks with a bunch of 6-drops held together by an elastic band.
Okay.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, that's nice kitchen table magic right there.
Maybe that's what we should be doing for the 25th anniversary. We just both bring like
the kitchen table decks.
Yeah, the kitchen table decks. I don't know if I have any left, but I definitely remember walking around the halls in 8th grade with a deck in my pocket, no sleeves, elastic band.
Nice. All right, well, yeah, so that's what we're celebrating here. The 25th Anniversary Pro Tour is this weekend, so we're doing a team-constructed event against each other. So we have found out that the absolute best deck to be playing is going to be Grixis. It's better than Red-Black.
I don't think that's how this works.
Well, that's how this works now, because I just declared it. So
That's also not how anything works.
So the next video, we're going to have Modern, where I am going to be bringing Humans, which I think is the best deck to be playing in Modern. And what do you bring to the table?
I am bringing the sci-fi classic Tron.
Oh,
I just have a copy of the movie. I'm just going to put it on the table.
okay. I thought the movie was okay. It's very just like you definitely know what's going to happen at the end of the movie at the beginning of the movie. It's like very easy to tell what's going to happen.
It's a movie.
Yeah, so I guess it's like it's a movie. Yeah, so you just kind of watch it unfold. But
No,
you know
no
what's going
M.
on.
Night Shyamalan twists at the end.
No, nothing. And then we're going to have Legacy later on in the week as well. So come on back next time to see some sweet Modern action. But for Ross Merriam, I'm Todd Stevens, and thanks for watching the Verse Series by StarCityGames.com.